Hello, everyone. Welcome. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I have some more card projects to show you using the box of the month for April from the Not Too Shabby shop. This one is called Lazy Day. This box includes 2 sets of pattern paper, an ephemera pack, and 3 stamp sets. The one I'm focusing on today is called Me Time. However, for my first few projects, I want to focus on the gorgeous pattern paper and the ephemera pieces. So I have a black card base and a piece of the floral pattern paper. I just love that one. It's so bright and cheery. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment that says relax, refresh, and recharge. I put down my anti-static powder first because I am going to heat emboss this sentiment. And I'll ink it up with some Versamark ink. I like to ink it up a few times to get a nice, crisp, sticky impression with this ink. And then I have some beautiful embossing powder called Peony, and it shows up really bright on black or dark cardstocks. So let's pour this embossing powder over the black cardstock. And look how pretty that is. I thought it matched well with the pattern paper. I'm being careful not to warp my card base. I'm just putting it on the paper for a second and then taking it right off. And it didn't warp too badly at all. I'll use the tissue to wipe off the anti-static powder from the black cardstock, and now I can add my pattern paper. Just using a little bit of dot liner to do this. And it's just going to go in the corner. I also cut out a strip of green pattern paper. I'm attaching this right next to the floral pattern paper. They're not overlapping at all, but it just needed a transition piece. Just added a little more to the card, and then I can go ahead and cut off the overhang. I'm kind of slow when I do this because I don't want to accidentally cut into the cardstock. And now for these pretty ephemera pieces, these 3 flowers, I did go around and cut the border off a little bit. It still has a white border, but I didn't want it as thick as they were. So I trimmed around it, and I'll pop these up off the front of the card with some foam pieces. I love the look of the black cardstock on this card. The last thing I'm going to do is add some glossy enamel dots around this panel, just on the black cardstock. And I love how this one turned out, and it was quick and easy to do. These are going to be really fun non-occasion cards to have and send out whenever. Okay, let's move on to card number 2. I'm starting with the sentiment, and this one says, "You deserve some me time." And I'm just stamping it a few times on a piece of yellow cardstock. I used some really dark ink called VersaFine Clair Nocturne. And now for some more of the pretty cardstock, I'm using the flip side of this floral piece, and it's just a soft pink pattern on this. Then I'm going to add another seam piece with the purple. Now I can flip it over and trim off the overhang. And I'm going to use more ephemera pieces on this card. I picked out a bunch more to put on the front of this card. Most of them are going to go down flat with a little bit of dot liner, like this flower piece here. Next, I'm going to put on this candle, and it says, "Time to relax." I do like the wide white borders along these ephemera pieces. They're so cute. Next, for the chocolate bar, I'll just tuck that behind the candle. And then my last piece is this little teacup, and I'm going to pop that up with a foam piece. I love collage cards like this. They're so much fun to put together. I pulled out my corner chomper, and I'm going to soften the edges of the bottom of this card with a 1/4 inch chomp. And I'll do that with the white card base as well. And then I'm going to add dot liner on the card base. Since I have so many things on the front of my card already, I did go ahead and put down some more of the glossy enamel dots. And here is a close-up look at card number 2. Such pretty ephemera pieces. I really had fun with these. For card number 3, I'm going to be using more pattern paper and ephemera pieces. I love this piece of purple pattern paper that has the block text on it. I'm just going to put a strip of yellow pattern paper on it. I did put the hearts upside down, so I'll come back and flip that right side up. But look at the back side of that is really pretty too with the pink and the yellow. So I fixed the strip of yellow so that the hearts and the text were the right side up. There we go. And then I cut this down a little bit so it's smaller than my card base, just to have a nice white border around it. So I picked out the focus piece for my card, and it's going to be this little stack of books with the teacup on top and the glasses and the cookies. I have some foam pieces behind it, but I didn't pull off the release paper just yet. I'm going to place my flowers down first flat. And it pretty much covers the yellow strip of paper, but at least you can see it at the edges. Just adds a cute touch. I'm trying to get them just so. I fuss with this a little bit. And now I can peel off the release paper on the back of the foam and center this on the card. I went ahead and stamped out the sentiment, "You deserve some me time," and cut it out with a faux stitch banner die. And I'm just going to tuck this behind the flower. This pattern paper and the ephemera pieces are great because they have a little bit of a coating on it. So if you do need to peel something up, it works just fine and it doesn't rip your paper. This paper was created by Teresa Russell from formerly Scrapping for Less, and I've always just loved her pattern paper. I'm adding some yellow glossy dots across this panel because it looks nice with the purple. They're complementary colors. And it just adds a little bit of shine. And that's all there is to card number 3. And here is a close-up look. I just love those big flower ephemera pieces. They're so pretty. On card number 4, I'm going to use more pattern paper, but I'm also going to stamp out some of the cute images from the Me Time stamp set. I just love the girl that's in this set, so I'm going to stamp her up along with the stack of books and many of the other cute stamps. And here they are, all stamped out. I stamped them out with some Copic-friendly ink. Here they are, all colored in. I did this off camera, and those are ready to go. I also fussy cut them out, but I just love this piece of pink and yellow sprinkle or glitter. It looks like glitter to me, cardstock, and I'm going to cut out a piece right in the middle with a faux stitched rectangle die. Here it is all cut out, and I love the flip side of this too, the purple text block. I'm going to cut out a window using this semicircle die. This is from Sunny Studio. I love this set. I use it a lot. I wanted to have a window to frame my little scene. And there's also faux stitching on this die, so it leaves some cute stitching along the inside and the outside. I'm going to stamp the sentiment that says, "You deserve some me time" again. And I'm just using the same extreme black ink to do this. I do stamp it up several times, but I just show the stamping once. I popped up this panel with some foam strips, and I'm going to put it right down onto my card base. I thought the interior of the window needed some color, so I'm adding some spun sugar distress ink inside this window. And this will add a cute little background for the girl and all of the pieces that I'm going to be adhering inside this window. So she's popped up with some foam adhesive, but I didn't glue her down yet. I'm gluing down the stack of books and the glasses down flat with a little bit of liquid adhesive. And then I'll pop up the teacup with a little foam piece behind that, just right on top of the books. Now I can peel off the release paper and place this girl inside the window. I had fun fussy cutting her out because I went around all of the little curls in her hair. I just love her hair, and it turned out so cute. So let's adhere her in place. And then this cute potted plant I'm going to glue down flat on the outside of the window. as well as the book that says Me Time. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to place it on the right or the left of the window. I added a few more of the yellow glossy dots, and this card is all finished. These images were really fast and fun to color in with the Copic markers. Now for card number 5, I'm going to do some more stamping. I wanted to definitely use the little cat from the stamp set. I love it. It's so cute and puffy. And I'm also going to stamp out the stack of books and the glasses and the teacup again and the bow. And I'm going to do more Copic coloring in just a minute. I'll do that off camera again, just for the sake of time. I just did very basic coloring, but I'm going to cut out a few tags. These are some really old dies from Pretty Pink Posh, and I'm going to cut out 2 tags on this piece of pattern paper. One on the floral side and one on the flip side, which is just pink. But I'm just going to tape this and the little circle cut out in place. And then here it is all cut out. And then I'm going to flip the paper and cut out a piece of this cute pink pattern paper. Now I have both of my tags ready to go. Next, I chose a piece of variegated green cardstock. And this is my faux stitch die again. So we'll cut this out. And then I can adhere it down onto my card base just flat with some dot liner. And the flip side of that pattern paper is just pretty too. I just love all of these patterns. I was considering using that side, but it just didn't go with my pink tag. Let's add a little dot liner to this and glue it in place. I wanted to put a banner of white, well, not really a banner, just a rectangle of white at the top of my card. And I cut this out with a faux stitch die and then trimmed it down again. For my seam piece, I'm going to use some yellow pattern paper. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment just right to the left top on the white cardstock. But I'll trim off the excess first. And then once that is done, I am going to pop this back in my Mini Misty and stamp out the sentiment. I'm going to use the sentiment that says, relax, refresh, recharge again. I think that looks so cute at the top corner there on the white cardstock. And the different fonts are just fun on that sentiment. Now for the stack of books, I'm just going to glue that down right next to the sentiment. I really love book stamps. They're so fun to play with. Now for the glasses. And then the cup of tea. Now I'm going to put my tags together, and I have some baker's twine, some orange and white baker's twine. And I'll thread that through both of the tags. And then I cut off too much string there. I'm going to trim that down a bit. And then I'm going to tie a little bow at the top. And now I'm going to adhere these down with a little bit of dot liner. I'll overlap them a little bit so you can see all 4 of the tails. I popped up the girl image with some more foam tape. And her cat as well, and I'll just put them over the tags. I am going to put half of a glossy dot behind the knot on the bow. This just helps secure it very nicely. It's not going to be moving around. And here's a close-up look at card number 5. I didn't add any glossy dots to this one. I thought it really didn't need it. There was a lot going on with that card. And here are all 5 of my card projects. I'll have a link to the Lazy Day card box in the description box below. You can buy this card box as a single purchase, Or you could sign up for the monthly subscription, which will ensure that you get the card box every month before they run out. I've been having so much fun creating with these box kits from the Not Too Shabby shop. Thanks so much for joining me today, everyone. I hope you were inspired, and I hope you have a fun, crafty day. Bye!